have another build episode. We'll continue with our Lich King. Today we're going to be doing 6, 7, and 8. Just to round it out, a couple more steps here. It looks like we're going to be focusing on the shoe or the boot or whatever it is called in this instance. I see another weird, I think I've got to assume this is a tool that's in here. We'll see in a minute. It's a really weird piece. And then we have some more pieces here as well. So we have what we have to this phase, which we got the helm all done. We have one of the shoulder guards. We have the hilt of the sword. We started on the shoe over here with the backing to it. And then, of course, we got the one shin guard complete. So it's getting pretty heavy at this point. A lot of metal, a lot of other parts in there. And, of course, we have some electronics with that with this hilt here. Or the hilt is, well, the whole thing is going to light up eventually. So everything is coming along. So let's take it to the next few steps here. We'll move forward because as you get up in the stages, they start sending you multiple kits. It's not just one kit. They are smaller, but there's a lot more of the little parts in them. So let's get at it. Today's build is going to be all about the left shoe here. So we start out with the shoe, and we have this front piece that will be going on there. We have our two little horns here, and they're basically going to plug in to each side of this piece here, the shoe guard, as such, like this, and then they will be secured underneath with screws. I'll do that in just a second. After we get those screws secured, the whole thing is going to sit on top like this. And then we will have those screws secured underneath as well. And that essentially has the front of our shoe. So it's starting to take shape here. We're getting a little bit of armor built onto it. Last time we had the back part here. This isn't ready to be attached yet, but it's basically going to go on here like this somehow. And then the next part we're going to work on is the internal mechanism. So there's going to be like this springy joint here for this. This is all metal for this to attach onto the bottom of the shoe here. So the leg, once we eventually get that together, will all come together and will be part of this. So essentially it's got a multi-piece mechanism here. We'll be fitting this inside here. This will go on here with the spring. And then we're going to have a sort of lid to it that will sit on top of here. And this will go into here as such. And now this whole assembly, once it's all done with this springy leg part here, is going to poke up through the bottom of the shoe. We're going to have that attached into there as such here, and it's going to link onto this piece, and it will have a little give in that little spring part. So why don't I get all these screws in so you don't have to watch me do that, and then we'll see what it looks like at that point. You don't even need this at this point. It's some kind of angled wrench. It says just to hold on to it for the future use. So let me get all these screws in, and we'll see where we're at. All right, I got everything screwed in here. So this part is on securely. We see the horns are on there securely. I attached it to the bottom. We have our little spring-loaded part here that all we did is secure onto here as well. You want to make sure this is nice and tight. We'll see how this interacts later when we're on there with the leg assembly, which we haven't got to yet other than just the shin guard. So we want to make sure this is really good and tight in there. Don't want to strip the screws, but you don't want it loose, because the next part we're putting on is we're closing up the shoe. So we are going to align this on here, and this should sit right on top of it. And then we have these little screws here that we'll be putting in here with this screw again that we got from phase 1. So you'll see those secure nice and tight, and that will close off the inside of the shoe. We got more to put on the outside. We are not done. There is way more intricacy here for the armor that will probably take another couple phases for each one of these shoes. So we got one shoe done. I hope the ankle or the shin guard we got is for this part. That would just make sense. So that's on there. It's not jiggling. So we have this on here. This will jiggle a little because it's got a spring in there. So we have that is completely done. The last part here is this little metal ring, which I think is going to be some kind of connector ankle guard, as you can see here, to help it articulate. So you're just going to put these little plates inside of this here like this for both of these here. There's no difference between these plates, so you don't need to really scrutinize them. They can only go in one way. You see the holes are poked out in there for them. So you just put them in like this. And then we'll have our assembled part. And eventually this will go in here in some fashion. Oop, I didn't get those all the way in. They will go in here in some fashion, and then they will articulate and allow it to move essentially. So that will be that completed part. If you don't put them in securely enough, they're going to pop out apparently. So that is all you have to do on this phase. And now we got them in there. Oh, I'll figure that out in just a second. We got them in there, and this will be the end of part 8. And that is essentially our assembly for this phase, which was adding the bottom of the shoe, adding the front of the shoe, adding this little connector part here inside the shoe that's going to jiggle a little bit so it articulates, and then adding this other joint. So we are chugging along. We got the entire, well, most of the shoe done today. I think there's going to be a little bit more armor. I can see a couple holes here on the side. And of course, we still need to attach this piece to the back. I think it attaches to whatever the leg part is and then ends up sitting right here, because there are some screw holes in here to attach the rest of it. So we'll see what's going on next. We'll see what's happening with this joint in here. This is an interesting little joint system that we're going to see how it locks in. I'm not sure. It's got to go this way and not the other way. I thought maybe the gear side, but we'll see. We'll see soon enough. So this is kind of interesting how the articulation is starting to come together. Some new parts in here. I'm not sure what this is for yet, but you can see now we got a shoulder pauldron. We have the hilt of our sword. We have a shin guard for left leg here. We have the left shoe, and we have the helm, of course. So we have a lot. We're going to have lights in the helm, I'm sure. So we have a lot more to go, but it's starting to take shape. We're getting some of the body put together. And in subsequent phases, we'll start to see some of the bigger parts come in as they all sort of break down into tinier sections as you get the subscription part. Now, again, if you want to see us also build out Darth Vader, we're pretty far along on that. Go over to rebelscum.com, our sister site. We have that build series going on there as well. We have the helmet complete, and we started on the chest box. That one's coming along. That is a half scale figure, so it's half a human-sized Vader. So that's pretty cool as well. It's got sounds and lights and other cool features, including magnetic locking systems for the helmet. Ton of intricate detail. So again, another example of what Fanhome can do on their different kits. So check that one out as well. That's all for this time. Tune back for more build series. We'll do 9, 10, and 11 next. So stay tuned. Like, subscribe, and follow. See you guys next time.